Hi friends, today I'm going to be showing you a very simple haircut that you could do on your sons and your husband. I'm going to link all of the products that I use afterwards so that if you want to click and purchase any of these items, they'll all be listed for you. And also I'm going to be going really slow, step by step, so that you can see all the detail, and feel free to ask me any questions, and make sure that you like this video and subscribe to my channel. Okay, so first I'm going to start with a squirt bottle and a straight comb. I'm going to go ahead and spray where I want his part, and I'm going to line his part up first. So I kind of go right off of his eyebrow, the center of his eyebrow there, and we're just trying to get a nice straight part line there. So once I have my line in, I'm going to use that as my guide, and everything underneath that is going to be cut off. Okay, so I'm going to link these clippers for you guys. These are awesome because they are cordless, so you don't have to worry about finding a charger. And I like to cut his hair outside so that I don't have so much cleanup. So these make it really awesome because I'm not anywhere near a plug right now, so these are very convenient. I have a 7mm on there, and we're just going to go straight. I'm holding all of this hair so that I don't accidentally cut any of it. And I'm going to take my line and just go straight down that part line. Hold the ear down right here and kind of go behind, angle up. Okay, now as I get to the back and the other side, I'm going to go ahead and kind of just try to keep this line here on the same side. I'm going to imagine that there's like another invisible line on the same side here, and I'm just going to go up to, I'm going to actually go straight up with my clippers right here to like let it blend. So I'm not going to round it with the head. I'm going to actually pull straight up on this side. I'm going to leave a little bit right here because I want to be able to use this to blend. So as far as the back goes, let me show you guys what I'm doing here on the back. Can you turn around real quick, Bubba? So he has a cowlick, a pretty bad cowlick right here where everything spins. Now, some people like to keep the cowlick and try to leave the hair long enough to hang over. I'm going to go ahead and just remove his whole cowlick because for me that's easier. But if your child doesn't have a cowlick, you're going to want to just go to about where the top of the head starts to flatten out. So I would go all the way up to here. But since he has that cowlick that I'm going to take off, I'm going to actually just buzz it from a little deeper in. So still on this side, I'm kind of going straight up. I'm not curving. When I get back here, I'm going to start rounding it with the head. Now the back is where most people get super intimidated. First of all, it's just hair. So if you go too short, it's fine. It'll grow in 3 days. It'll be longer. So this side is actually trickier than the side with the part because you're going to try to use that hair to blend. So as long as you get that side straight up and you're not rounding it too much, the back, like I said, I'm just going to hold the part of his hair that I don't want to cut. I'm going to hold the longer hairs and I'm going to buzz his cowlick off. So I'm going to go straight across. That just makes it easier for him and I when we're styling it. That cowlick is pretty gnarly and it's really hard to fight it with gel. Now my husband has the same cowlick, so I do the same thing with his. His is a little further back, so I don't have to take off quite as much, but I'm actually just leaving this rectangle of hair to work with now. So you can go ahead and face forward, Kurt. Okay, I know a lot of people are intimidated by sideburns, but they're actually super, super easy. So I'm gonna pop off my clipper and just use the straight part of the blade there. And for his sideburn, I'm just going to take from the top of his little earlobe right here, right where it meets the head, I'm gonna just go right at that line, straight down. I clean up a little bit right here around his face, and then you're just gonna round with the ear right there. So same thing with the back of his head right here. I'm gonna clean up this neckline, just make a straight line, and then just round with his ear. Same thing over here. Right where his ear meets his face is where we're going to draw the line down. For the back of his neck, I'm going to show you guys how I just draw a straight line across and clean up his neckline. Okay, so now that all the sides and I have his perimeter all cleaned up, I'm going to go ahead and just work with the top now. I'm going to use scissors and comb on here. Super, super simple. All right, so comb and squirt bottle, I'm gonna wet all this down. Rectangle shape left, and this I'm gonna pull straight up. And I'm just gonna trim it straight across. Now I'm gonna pull up the next little section and use that as my guide to take off that difference there. Now as I get to this side of the head, this is the side that we want to start to curve it because we're blending over here. Angle my fingers and you'll see that we're going to take that corner off because we're going to try to blend this longer section into this really short section. So straight up in the center and then angled there on the side. Stay straight, curve away. Now obviously, if you want to get really fancy, you can use razors and thinning shears, but I'm just trying to keep it really simple and basic this haircut for you guys, so you can do this one at home. Take that corner off there, back to straight up here, straight up. I'm taking off about 3/4 of an inch on the whole top here. Kind of going back over and checking to see if there's any long pieces still. Taking it down just a little bit shorter back here in the back. And then I'm going to walk through the whole haircut again and just kind of check my lines. So you're just holding it up and you're cutting any random scraggly hairs. I'm going to go back through this whole side section right here and just make sure that we have no long corners on there. So it's pretty easy to remember. When you have this rectangle left, these two sections of hair are going to get cut straight up. This third section of hair, you're going to cut it at an angle there. We're basically done here. I'm just going to show you guys how I like to blend that side in. Now this is for that like comb over style. Sometimes I like him to wear it kind of messy. It looks fine if he doesn't style it at all, but if I want to throw some gel in it and kind of comb it over to the side, it'll look really good. I'm going to go ahead and wet it down again and just kind of comb it straight and make sure that we don't have any stray long hairs here. And now this side, I'm going to show you guys how I blend this side. Like to wet it down, and I'm going to use a texture blade. You can tell there's kind of like little slits in those. Now any thinning shear will work for this part, and I'm just going to basically hold my comb straight up and texturize it right here on the side to blend it in. So I'm just moving straight up and blending that side. Now sometimes if your kid has really thick hair, or your husband, you can use these throughout the top. I like to keep it a little bit longer because I like them to have that little comb over pompadour. So I'm not going to use the texture blades in the top of the hair, but you can. So once I have this side nice and blended in, we're basically all done. I'm going a little tighter with the blades back here because remember we shaved that cowlick off, so I want to keep it nice and tight back here.